Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Elion, and we are here with Rich from As the World Burns. Welcome, Rich.
Hey, thank you. Welcome. Aha.
Uh, so, so Rich, could you introduce yourself and what you do within the band?
I am the lead guitar player. I do a lot of songwriting. We all contribute to the songs. I got a lot of riffs. I'm always coming up with riffs and stuff. But everybody writes the songs, they write their parts at minimum. So we don't split up songwriting credits. We all do it. I do a lot of the recording. I recorded the last CD, so all of the engineering, that was me on the last one. If you get a chance to check it out. And I can't take full credit for how good it sounds. We did send it off to a professional mix engineer named Chris Collier, who did Korn, KXM. I think he remastered the White Snake album. But anyway, he's top notch, made it sound great. Did the drums on it as well. So we didn't have a drummer at the time. Thank God he saved the day on that one. But yeah, that's pretty much me. I do a lot of stuff with the band. Try to do some promoting as well, but Christina Villa does a lot of that for us. So it takes a lot of pressure off of.
Yeah, Christine's brilliant. Yeah, she's brilliant. She's put me on a lot of bands.
Yeah, she's really, really cool. We love her.
Yeah. So, Rich, let's dive into some questions. The first one is, as a kid, what were you listening to?
Probably the Beatles as an early kid. I do remember, hitting Mom's collection of records. She was a big Beatles fan. So that's where I first got it. And then that progressed on to, I think Black Sabbath was the next one that was big on my list. My life was changed after that. I remember asking for Christmas every year a Black Sabbath record. And then I moved on after that. Probably, I'm still a kid. I was a huge Rush fan, and I was been a prog guy and a metal guy ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. So, who actually got you into music? Was it a family member, like your parents, or a sibling, or a cousin, or was it a friend from school, or
it was Kiss?
That sort of
It was Kiss. Yeah. Can't leave those out of the influence as a young age, because once I saw that live in concert, it was it. That was it. They were larger than life at the time. I'm older, so I got to see him back in the 70s and stuff. So it was a real treat to see something like that. And you can't really describe it to people nowadays because it's a whole different thing. That whole icon, larger than life thing. You don't really get a whole lot of that anymore. And you might not ever again. Who knows?
Yeah. It seems to be like a lot of people who I've spoken to cite Kiss as a major influence.
Yeah, if you're my age and you were listening to music, they were definitely going to be an influence any way you slice it. So they're definitely one of the biggest people to get people playing the music probably ever, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Most people will attribute Kiss as something that got them started in playing for sure. Yeah. Now, I'm not a huge fan anymore, believe it or not. I still like them. I like the early stuff, but I hate the 80s crap. I just can't stand it. But whatever. It is what it was. It was the 80s, the big hair and all that. Yeah.
So, who actually inspired you to become a musician? Was it Kiss, or was it somebody else? Or
it wasn't any one person I don't think of in particular. It's just listening to music, and I had a love for it. I originally wanted to be a drummer. My parents weren't about to buy me a drum set though, so I was kind of bummed. They did buy me like a snare drum, the practice pad, and that was cool, and I appreciated that, but it wasn't like a drum set where you could play songs on. So I finally bugged them enough. I was like, please give me a guitar then or something. and they still wouldn't do that. But my grandmother was cool enough to hook me up with a guitar, and it was just a cheap piece of junk. And the parents were like, well, if you can play a song by this time, then maybe we'll get you some lessons. So I figured out a few chords and stuff. I think it was like Sweet Home Alabama or something. I figured out on my own. And they're like, oh, okay. You seem like you can, you know, what you seem interested in this. All right. So after that, I got like 7 lessons. And that was all the lessons I got for years and years and years was those 7 lessons. And funny thing is, I think I only had 7 more lessons in my life later on. So yeah, those guys that taught me were definitely helpful and instrumental in getting me to play. The first guy, his name was Steve Heron. Great guitar player, knew all kinds of good songs to share me. And that was kind of important at that time, just to show me some stuff that I was familiar with that I could play. And that was good fun, good stuff.
Yeah, cool. Cool. So, um, what bands were you in before? As before the as God, I can't talk. As the world burns.
As the world say ATWB if it's hard to come up. I've been in a bunch of bands since I was a teenager, you know. All of them with little or minimal success. It's hard. It's hard to keep a band together. Hard to have 4 or 5 guys on the same page. I mean, it's just a really tricky thing. And like I said, I've been in so many. None of really worth mentioning. Honestly, they're just bands that played covers or played originals. But yeah, I think one kind of notable one was Outrage in the '80s. That was a pretty good one. But other than that, just kind of mediocre bands. You know, it eventually got to these guys, and it was like heaven, perfect. And we've been together for a
Yeah,
long time now. You get something good. It's not broken. No need to fix it, I guess.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Most definitely. Yeah. So, I know Barry was on last week, but is there new new developments on the bands front? Any material? New
Yeah, we're
material?
working on material. We practice regularly just to keep our chops up, but also that's our writing sessions as well. And almost every time we get together, we come up with something that sounds pretty cool, whether it's a little middle section of a song, a verse riff, a chorus, or maybe even a whole song. We'll just start jamming, and a lot of times some really cool stuff comes out. You know, sometimes that's the best stuff, and we often record that and pick things out that we liked a lot and try to duplicate that in a song form.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I know Barry mentioned that there might be a couple of tours later on this year, or a couple of gigs coming up. Is there any
Yeah,
new developments on that front?
we are not. We don't have a whole lot booked right now, and that's not necessarily on purpose, but it's kind of the winter thing here. And we're just going to hop on a few shows as they pop up, and write right now, so we can get together for the next record, which we're really looking forward to writing and getting together. We got a couple songs for it already. We need 6 or 8 more. Though.
Yeah, yeah. So, got a question. Well, it's more of a more of a sort of like observation. Got a question. Well, one of my subscribers and moderators, it says, like the red guitar behind you.
It's beautiful. I love that. It's RG 550 reissue. Um, I have an original RG 550 Ibanez from I think it's 1991. I don't have that guitar here. That's at practice, but that's a reissue of that, and I just put some new pickups in it. And I have to say, I think it's my favorite guitar. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's just came up with another question here. What type of pickups do you use?
On these, I have the Crunch Lab, the John Petrucci set, Liquefier, and I think it's a Crunch Lab in the bridge. But in the middle, this is kind of cool. I put a Dark Matter, pickup, and I don't typically even play the middle pickup most of the time, but that's until I put the dark matter in, and I'm getting the most beautiful tones on the 5-way selector. I'm getting all kinds of nice single coil clean tones, which being a metal guy for most of my life, I haven't really dove into, but now that I'm getting older, I'm kind of digging these single coil tones. I have to say, they're pretty beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you put your guitar through sort of like any pedals or any effects?
Yeah, I've
With that?
got I don't know if I can get this thing there. Let's see. Right there's a quad cortex from Neural DSP. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's
Yeah, can
basically
yeah.
my whole rig right there. I've been a tube amp guy my whole life, and recently decided, toting all that stuff around was kind of for the birds. If I can get the same tone, or at least close, out of something else a lot smaller and easier to tote and all that. And I take this to and from practice with one pedal board case, and I love it. It sounds great.
Yeah.
No problems at all. And I still got all my tube amps too, so recording and all that. I'll fire this up. I got original 5150. I've got the another 5150, but it's a 5153, and that's about it for now. I sold my Marshall. Might regret that later.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you use, especially in practice, when you're doing like coming up with different jams for possible new songs,
Yeah.
do do those pickups and the pedals influence you in any way into writing new material?
Huh, that's funny. That's a good question. I like that. It very much can. So say if somebody starts a groove and it's a little slow or something like that, you can get some really like cool soundscapey stuff with a few clicks of a button, and that might totally influence the whole direction of the song. Or you just might click it into a high gain amp and play something slow and sludgy over that slow groove, So I think it definitely plays a role in some way. You don't know exactly where you're going to go with it, but it's always fun to experiment. And I think that's a big part of it is just picking some different tones and effects to see what sounds cool. And if it sounds cool, it's good,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. Do the rest of the band use any sort of like either certain pickups or certain like for the drummer, a certain type of skin or a certain
I can't
symbol?
remember what
Or
head, I can't remember what heads he uses, but I know he has a really sweet white DW kit. Um, Nothing. I don't think he has really a particular cymbal brand. He uses whatever sounds good to him. The other guitar player plays Ibanez stuff too. He's got the 5153 Stealth head, and I don't know what cabinet he's got. I can't think of it. I think it's just a Line 6 cabinet, but it's loaded with vintage 30s or something like that. Bass
yeah,
player plays the Galleon Kruger and Schecter bassist Barry, which you met last week. Good stuff. He's got a lot of good stuff.
yeah, cool. Where can people find you on social media?
So on social media, we are at As the World Burns, and on like Twitter, I think it's ATWB Band, and I think on YouTube it's ATWB Band. On Spotify and all that, I think you just type in As the World Burns, and it should come up. And there'll be a few songs with As the World Burns as a name, like by creator or whatever. But if you typed in As the World Burns, say our latest album is called Prevail, and type Prevail after it, it'll definitely take you right to us in that way. So that's just a little shortcut of sorts to help you find us quicker on Apple and iTunes, rather, and Spotify, Amazon. If you have Amazon Music, you can just ask Alexa to play it for you.
Yeah. Has the band got a YouTube channel?
We do. We don't. do upload stuff as like we should on there, but we do have one. We have a couple good videos that you can check out, and I'm pretty sure that is ATWB band. And I don't remember if it's
Cool.
small or
That was
capital,
good.
if it makes a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Yeah,
Anyway, I was going to ask, have you got any videos for people to check out on YouTube?
yeah. There's a couple of them. There's one we did for the song "Prevail," the title track off our last CD, and that's a cool song. It's kind of about all the crap that was going on in 2020 with all the riots and all the COVID restrictions and all this stuff in America that was going on and all over the world, really. So I think it's pretty universal that
Yeah,
people could probably relate to it. Um, it was a crazy time, and we just had to write a song about it, which I'm sure a bunch of people felt like they had to write a song about that too.
yeah,
But we really like that one. It appeals to a lot of people, and it's a cool ass song. It was one of our favorites.
yeah. Cool.
So that's definitely on there. They haven't finished it. I'm sorry, I didn't answer your question fully. There's another couple of lyric videos on there. There's a couple of videos of us live. Not the best sound quality on some of those because they're a lot of cell phone fan captures, but we'll try to get something more going here soon while we got this winter months. That's on our agenda, is to get another video put out.
Yeah, cool. So, if anybody in the chat, I know there's a few people here now. If you've got any questions for Rich, please ask away. So yeah, get them in now. So yeah, this is going to be my last question
Okay.
to you. Is there any advice for people who want you can give for who want to become a musician?
Basically, just stick with it. It can be frustrating. It can be hard. It can feel overwhelming, like you're never going to get good. But if you stick with it, you'll be fine. And one of my favorite things to say, I used to work at Paul Reed Smith Guitars, and Ted Nugent came in one time and to pick up one of his guitars. I think I got to stand on that one. I don't know. We built a bunch of famous people, Jimmy Page and all that. But there's a wall that all the artists would write on. And one of the things he wrote was, "It's not just wire and wood. It's a hunk of burning love." I always thought that was funny as hell. And one of the things I like to say is it's one of those things that's constantly challenging, but yet constantly rewarding, man. And I don't know what I would have done without having it as a constant in my life. I'm never, ever bored, ever. I just pick up a guitar and my boredom's gone. So it's main thing is just stick with it. It doesn't matter your level. If you got a way to write music and put it on tape somehow, whether it's a Tascam 4-track, a PreSonus, small little internet or interface rather, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? It sound like crap. You made it. If it sounds like crap, you learn something, hopefully, and the next one maybe will sound better. So it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, but definitely stick with it. That's probably the main thing. Don't give up.
Yeah, sound advice. We've got a question from my moderator, Sebastian, and he asks, "Would we would like to see you in South Africa?"
Oh, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Any plans to go down to South?
Not right away, but you never know what the future holds. We're not going to stop, so I'd love to see the world.
Yeah. I was going to ask that, but if my memory serves me correctly, Barry mentioned that there's a possibility, if everything lines up and if the offers are there, it might go over to come over to the Europe or do like a US tour.
We're actually pretty big in Belgium, believe it or not. So we'd love to come over there. Anytime we can play anywhere, we are always about it. We don't turn down gigs no matter where it is. Whether it's for a small club or a big venue, we are down to play. We just love to play. So don't
Yeah.
count us out. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So if you go over to, so people, if you want to keep up to date with As the World Burns, go to their social media to keep up to date. So you never know
Yeah, never
wherever
know.
you are in the world. You never know.
You never know. You really
One
don't.
one day they might come. They might. Yeah.
I hope
So
so.
yeah, go over to this. Yeah. Yeah, go over to their social media to keep up to date with what's coming out and what's coming up if there's any gigs coming in your area. So go check them out on their social media and go check them out. Go check them out on their YouTube channel as well because
Yeah. All the digital
I've
outlets.
watched a couple of them that they're good, really, especially the
Thank you,
Prevail
sir.
video.
Awesome.
Yeah. Much for coming on and
Hey,
doing
we
this little
really
interview.
appreciate
It's been an absolute
it.
pleasure.
You.
Been an
You're
absolute
cool as
pleasure.
hell. Same here. I really like you a lot, man. I hope we see you
Yeah,
soon. Thank you, guys. I
yeah.
appreciate it.
All good, yeah. Yeah.
Rock
Yeah.
on,
So anyway,
bitches.
guys, catch you all later.
Thank you, sir.
Soon.